Okay, I think we're working. Yeah. Oh, got a few people on. You guys hear me all right? Good. That's TYN. Everything good? Okay, cool. Yeah, I know there's about a 30-second lag. Got open positions in the YM. Keeping an eye on it. Boy, trading the volatility has just things have changed. I think for traders, this is a good thing. Hey, PK. Oh, good. Thanks, man. Oh, particularly in traditional assets, I think this volatility is the new norm now with the 0 and 1 DTE options. It changes your perspective in terms of what you can get out of a trade. I think there's no way for it not to be a positive, considering the size of the swings that we're seeing. Where it's a negative is if you're prone to giving it a little more room, right? So those movers of stops are going to be taught that lesson very, very quickly in these kind of moves. That's a tendency I have to catch myself from doing. So, oh shit! Here, I'm supposed to do this. Here, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I forget to do. I'm just a trader, right? All this other shit I got to do. So this is for educational purposes only. I should have mentioned that. We're not going to do buy here, sell here, but you can infer from that areas of interest. That's how we approach it. So, despite my forgetting to put the disclaimer on. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Now it's 11:30 here, so let me get rid of the disclaimer. Okay, there we go, guys. I thought we'd start with Bitcoin. Let me get over here to our charts here. Boy, is that channel busy. And what's interesting is how many different opinions, because this is such an irregular, I don't want that, such an unusual count we have here. It's really, Elliottians I'm seeing a lot of creative interpretation here. That's all very valid. It's requiring that because this is very non-traditional in terms of how it's shaping. So that said, of course, one thought is until we get a little more clarity, you might perhaps not be overly aggressive. That would be one way to look at it, because it's such an unusual formation that we have here. So I thought we'd start with Sensei James M. He sent this to me this morning. I really liked it. It's very, very, very creative how he's getting there. So this takes some real Elliott knowledge and skill, and plus look how he's worked the geometry in. And you just, the channel, the median line tag, it's all just the market's responding here technically. It's algo driven. But the Elliottician here is struggling. Now, what he's keying off of here, my best guesstimate here is, I think we can all agree that there's a 5 in here. Now, where you're starting it is open to a little bit of interpretation here. And then I think equally, we've got the challenge of there's a 5 here. So we've got back-to-back 5s. Now, he's approaching this. This is quite clever. So this, I think we can all agree that we complete something here. Right? Let's see. I'm good on the lag. So we're completing something here. Now, one thing that he's very skilled at, and he uses the Elliott oscillator here to drive his count. So we're looking for signs of divergence and where we see the peaks, right? So we can identify our 3s. And often, as you see here, it's the 3 of the 3 that creates this, right? So here, as you get that divergence between the 3 and the 5, we get a higher high here, but we get a lower high in the Elliott oscillator here. So this is a really nice use of it here. Now, this is, of course, a deep 4 I think we can all live with this. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 1 WXY likely, right? Shit, probably doesn't matter, right? It's a 3. And this has been the struggle. What is it? 1, 2? Is it 1, 2? It's really difficult here, but this is for those of you that really like solving the puzzle, James is really a master at this, and he really gets creative here. So the way he's getting there, right? This is not your average Elliottician. So we're going to go 1, then we're going to go A, B, C into an A. Then we've got a 5 here, so you can see here if I draw it, you can see it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got my A wave in here. Now we got to go A, B, C, D, E to get a B. So some of you will have seen reference to no triangles in a second wave, right? Well, that's very true, but I can't have a triangle in the B wave. So he's using the triangle to give us the ABC. So we've got a 3 followed by a triangle here, followed by a 5. So we're getting an ABC in this very unusual formation here, but it's giving us really, if I straighten this out, there's the B. So it's A expanding the B and then coming down here. I think we can all agree there's some type of a 5 here. Now, is it a diag? It's not a great looking finish, no doubt, right? Don't expect Elliott to be perfect. Often we have to interpret based on the implied swings. Now, so if you go 4 to 5, you're like, oh, hey man, there's not a 5 in there. Yeah, I get it. We're on a 6 hour. If I went to a 6 minute, I could probably find with it. It almost doesn't matter though. So we've got a pivot here that's technical. So we're pinging the median line, and then we're getting this rocket launch off of this. Now that's 20. I mean, it's almost a 4K launch, right? I mean, damn near a 4K launch. So as we look at that, the idea here that we've gone 1, 2. Now this would be shallow. There's no doubt about it. Right? If this is the 1, shit, I can't even, let's get traditional here, right? So 23. Abnormal, but not like it doesn't happen. A, expand the B into the C. So we get an expanded flat into the 2. Well, for bulls, this is encouraging. Excuse me. Excuse me, guys. Let me create a little more space here. Because we're always looking to finish in a 5. If we have finished here and we're going to do it through this expanded flat, well then 1, 2. All right, let's go down a little bit. Let's go to a 2. Do we have it? Right, 1, 2, 3, maybe. If this 1, 2, 3, 4 could be right. So, but the expectation would be if I push this over. Right, most of you guys can all get clarity on this. Let's complete it here. Let's get all of it in. So James also very skilled with channels here. So if this is our move down here, the break of the channel here is meaningful. You might anticipate that there'll be a correction here rather than just a vertical launch. Hang on. So now as we look here, we see the RSI. Again, it's not overbought, oversold. Those are meaningless terms. We're extended. Let's think of it that way, right? We're extended, and while we had a little curl here with this, what did we get to here? We're 86. Now we can stay up here, but it's not typical for it to stay up here for an extended period of time. So to relieve some of that overextension would be something you might anticipate. So if we come back here and ping the 50, right? So you guys hear me say all the time, right? The 50, I would tell you, is more important than the 70 and the 30 or 80 and the 20. What happens at the 50? So if we're coming back around, that's what I'd be looking for. What happened? Look, you can see, right? As we get, we're going up. We're pinging. We're testing. Now we're going back down. So that's an area you really want to be looking for here, because getting a little divergence here doesn't necessarily mean we're doing a full loop, right? We could come back down. So if you start to count this out, then you'd be thinking, oh, okay, maybe 1, 2, so 1, 2 could be, you might be looking for something more here. This could be the internal if I went down to a 30 minute, because we're going to need a completed impulse in that 3. That may not even be done here. Just out of curiosity. 1, 2. let's I'll put it over here. Well, it's not a great looking two. Oh, I'll probably use that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it looks like you got a contender here for that 3 to be done. Now, additionally, shoot, hang on. Allergies. When it's raining, I really suffer with them. Okay. I mean, that's a big rip for a 3, right? We're well past 2618 if correctly identified. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3. I mean, that's a big rip. Down for the 4, so you might, I'd probably kind of isolate that little section right there as possibly an order block. Just kind of pulling it over here. If we come back down here, now we got an opportunity here to tag some of this geometry. So just standard ops, right? Let's just use the last little pivot low. Show on there. Might bring you up just a tad. Let's fatten that, see how that looks here. So there's your high probability zone for a 4 into the 5, right? So this is going to give us some clarity. If we complete here, we should start to get some sense of direction as in, do we have a good low here? Because that is still a question mark. Now, so this is great news for bulls. Here, let me get this out of here. If indeed we're going to finish, right? So what remains, right? We're going to get a little maybe, right? We don't know. It's a lot to project. Something along those lines to complete that 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, okay, right? Don't FOMO in now. Just if you're not in, you're kind of late to the party, so there's no need to FOMO in. If you come back down here, some of this structure, okay, there's probably a reasonable trade there. Maybe the RSI comes down, we hold the 50, and then you get that last little kick, right? So you're getting into, of course, you're looking for 5 here. So there'll be opportunity in there. Of course, it doesn't have to be impulse, but you're looking for 5 swings. To get that up there, but again, don't feel like, oh shit, I'm going to miss it. I got to chase it. You'd be anticipating that we're going to come back down. Now we can just take this and move it over here. Something along these lines. Now let's go back to a 2 and see how that fits in. Coming back into some of this structure here, it kind of lays out, right? That's really what you're trying to do here is kind of map it out. Okay, well, where is likely areas? And do you see how I could have started here and said, oh, okay, well, this was the resistance here. We got through, tap, we're through, right? So this would be an area that I'd be just looking at it, right? It's not rocket science, right? That would be an area of interest. Just say it that way. Now, can we make that fit with the Elliott count, right? Again, this is. Sometimes I feel like I'm on here. I have to justify to Elliott haters why we use Elliott Wave, right? Again, it's not perfect. You can't come on. You can't start applying Elliott Wave as a new trader or a new student of it and go, well, the fucking thing where it didn't give me a perfect 5 on the finish, so this shit doesn't work. You got to be a little bit more realistic about what you can anticipate. It's just a tool. It's just a way for us to get some clarity in the chaos of potential movement of the market. And again, it's not that these wave relationships are magic, right? This is just, we're replicating what fear and greed, right? That's what's happening here is fear and greed. Now, when we have something like this, right now, is that fear and greed? Well, what is it, right? Is more likely what it is just accumulation, right? There's lack of trend here. So we're just waffling back and forth, but we hit that apex and something comes out of here. From contraction comes expansion. This is a rule. This is a natural order kind of a rule in the market, right? It's just there is no chart you can put up where you can't find that phenomenon, right? From contraction comes expansion, right? It's just, it's just the natural order of things, right? So now we're using all of these lines, all of this geometry, all to just try and get a probable direction. That's all we get. That's all we get is a probable, right? Everybody wants certainty. Oh, well, let's just ask Chat GPT where it's going, right? Because that will, of course, be certain. Boy, is that coming on fast and furious, right? Oh, don't think. Let AI do the thinking for you. I think that's going to be interesting to watch. So with all of this here, as I digress, where are we? Well, See, I know he's trading it bullishly. I'm not quite ready to go there yet because I think the alternate is just as valid. Now, that said, if we come down here to the 4 and we're hitting this structure, I mean, I'm not saying don't take that trade. I mean, that's very, you know, if you get this right here, why would you not take that trade, right? If you're a bull, why would you not take it? Well, you perhaps would have a different view, and you're looking at this going, I don't see it. Doesn't look right. I'm counting it differently. Well, again, here, if you're using golden zone here, right, that which would be a reasonable risk to reward. I mean, again, why are you not taking it? Because you're scared of it? Scared? Right, you're in the wrong business. Right? You can't operate with fear in the markets. That you will not be successful. You got to be willing to take the risk. Okay, does it set up? Is it technical? Is the Elliott valid? Right? If I'm going to apply Elliott, is it valid? Is the market structure, does it make sense? Are we at a fib level that would make sense? Can I get an algo? Right? All of this, it's just a checklist. Okay, this. Take the fucking trade. Right? I mean, if you get stopped out, okay, next trade. You're not putting the kids' tuition money into that. That's just, again, I like to say it this way. It's just another trade. It's not, oh my God, this is the big one. It's just another trade. Take the fucking trade. If you like it, don't hesitate. See, that often is what happens. People say, oh, wait, I'm going to wait until it breaks the high. Well, okay, what's your risk reward then if you're doing that, right? Now, all of a sudden, it just changed. Now, see, then this is how you justify it. Careful doing this, right? Again, I'm not saying that I haven't done this or anything like that. We've all done it, right? I'm just telling you, okay, well, wait a minute now. So now you're saying, oh, okay, I'm in it for 0.5 to 1 because otherwise you're projecting, oh, I know what's going to happen. We're going to get that out of there. I know what's going to happen. We're going to do this. That's why I'm taking the trade. No, that's you don't want to shoot for the moon all the time, right? So would that be reasonable? Well, what's likely up here, right? We don't have to wonder, right? There's likely a shitload of stops up here. So you make yourself vulnerable to that grab and go. They come up here, they grab all that liquidity and they take it down and it follows the path that you would have been anticipating in the first place. Oh, I got a 5 that completed. What? Oh, now I'm looking for a 3, right? So whales, traders that can move the market here, they know the stops are up there. We all know they're there. Okay, so why put yourself in a position where you're vulnerable here? So if you get here, if you take that trade and you get here, at least take a partial and trail with a stop because maybe you do get that, right? Nobody knows. You might get it. Shit, we have a few more bank failures. Damn, you might get it. But you don't back away from it because you're afraid of it. That put the stop on and relax. Just another trade. All right, let me just as an alternate, let me give you what else have I got here? That I'll come back to that. This was me kind of going back and forth with my team. Right? I remind you guys, my team, they're all better Elliotticians than I am. So I seek their counsel all the time, right? It's fortunately is the way it works out. You'll interact with them much more than you will with me. But this is one of the guys on my team, Sensei PK Esamenda, is looking at this as like, hey, I might have a 2, 3, 4 big kicker in the 5. Could I have this? Again, it's this whole formation here is really unusual. Could be a leading diag. And the reason that I think this remains valid is this section here that I have highlighted, and this is he and I going back and forth this morning. You can't finish it here. Let me rephrase. In my view, as I come down to an hourly here, this makes me uncomfortable to lean into this as the hard pivot low before we go off into an impulse. So if I zoom in there a little bit, I mean, this is you're wrestling with, do you like it enough to go, no, fuck it, let's take it, right? So again, just another trade, right? So, do the work, right? Do you like it enough here to say, okay, if this is done, get this back here, how am I finishing that? Is there any dispute about this being a 3? Is there anyone going to argue with that being a 5? I don't think so. Right? No one's going to make that argument, right? So we have a 3. So I see a 5 followed by, we'd have to do this. It's a 3, 3, 3. So I see a WXY into a B here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. candidate for a C. Now, is that ideal? No, because the relationship of the C here, I don't even think we can do it. The C relative to the A, same thing, right? So just like it was beyond 2618, if it's 1, 2, 3, we're well beyond 2618. So these are extreme moves here. But this makes me a little cautious about leaning too hard into, oh, it's done. The pivot low is in. 1, 2, 3, I guess you'd call 4, 5, and off we go. Now, how are we going to know? Well, sadly, you can't. You're not going to know. You're not going to know until it's over, right? So if this is 1, 2, 3, if right, and he might be counting that different. Oh shit, how's he counting it? Okay, so if we're going to go 1, 2, 3, get back over here. If it's 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna, okay, sloppy bottom, right? Sloppy bottoms. Nobody likes a sloppy bottom, right? So we got a sloppy bottom here, but okay, somehow we're just gonna allow for it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, something, right? You'd be anticipating now something like this, whether it's 3 or 4. Now, if we start to accelerate into something bigger, do we know here? Do we have certainty? Nope. Couldn't that be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Well, already it's a little deep, but I'm just using the order block here in the high volume node. Okay, now do we know? Do we? Well, maybe, right? Could that be the C? I guess it could be, right? As a matter of fact, A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 could be. This is tricky, right? So you gotta pick a path here and go, okay, I see it, right? Oh, so well, of course, one choice is, well, until I know, I'm not trading it. Until this gives me some clarity, I'm going to stay out. That's very reasonable. But when you see $4,000 swings, right, you're dying to get in. So where to get in? Well, okay, now as we look at it here, do you want to be buying it here? To me, that would be very aggressive. Let's say it that way, right? So just even if you just to take the whole range, just sometimes it's just better to, okay, let's simplify the thing. Okay, if this is discount, this is premium. Where do I want to sell it? Premium. Where do I want to buy it? Discount. So just all I'm doing is taking the swing structure here and cutting it in half. So if we start something like this, now we don't know, because this could easily start doing this. Now we have a little more clarity, because we can't finish this way. This can't be 3, 4, right? Now you're thinking, right? More likely something along those lines is coming in. That's when you're going to know. So somewhere in here, you've got to take some risk, right? But if anything, if you just try and simplify, okay, how do I simplify this fucking thing? I don't know what's going on here. Okay, let's create the range and cut it in half. Let's be buyers down here and sellers up here. Now, again, I'm not saying sell it. This would be a valid sell. You're at least selling in the premium. You're kind of right on the edge here. And as we looked here, okay, right, we got a little hot, and there's not really divergence here. There's no squeeze. Kind of tee it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I don't see a way to finish this, right? So for me, right, and I'm not in any way suggesting James doesn't have the count just nailed. I'm just saying for me, right, and this is the reality of trading. Two people can see it differently. He's one of the most successful traders we have, right? Been with us for almost 4 years now, right? Went from being a customer to being a sensei, right? Just because he's so skilled. Now, okay. Again, we kind of look here and we go, all right, well, if I was going to be a buyer, wouldn't something like that, right? At least I could come down to the 50% here. Because if you're a bull, again, you're thinking, oh, something corrective, right? I've got something impulsive. If I'm going to correct down here, right? At least you'd be buying at the 50. At the low, you'd have a little ledge here. It would be in line with the structure. It would make a little more sense, right? And then if this starts to go, you come back here and go, well, we probably, my guys will figure something out there. I don't see it. I don't see how you finish with that 3 and get her done. But now, the last look at it here, this is my primary as it sits. Now, this is also abnormal because, and the reason well, a couple of things here, right? I've modified here. So I'm doing the full median lines here from the hard low. This also, right, was a questionable low. Right? Still, there's a lot of people think this is just a big flat. But now if I just use the first three swings here, boy, that median line caught my attention. Now this is 200% here on the upper parallel. So you can see the potential here. Now this would be a cleaner count. So do I have some sort of an A wave here? It looks like there's a candidate for a 5 to come down here. All right, this looks impulsive, but if we break it down, we can probably find a B wave in here and then down here. That is what I would prefer because then I get clarity, right? I can see it. I'm fully anticipating. Now I'm coming back into this where I left it, I think, on Friday's video. Now I'm coming back into this range here where I can really clearly identify here, and I think we pull here. You see, all right, here's the 50 in the golden zone right at this order block. Now, again, I do not know that that's the count, but because I think it's still a very reasonable candidate, you have two choices here. One is you take the little retrace and you put a tight stop on it. So maybe we're going to get that. Again, maybe we get that, but something like that. Now that would change this. It would start to look more like a 5, and then you'd be rethinking. You'd probably be back over here going, oh, damn, he's got it, right? So there's the 5. We're done. So we got the A, B, C, and off we go. I'm not ready to go there yet because this still looks too, boy, that looks good, right? But where's the hesitation here? It's not a great looking 3 for that B just yet. Let's zoom in there. Does this look like a B? Looks impulsive. Yeah, I mean, maybe you're having to do something like this to get a monster C, but right, you can just feel the hesitation, like, oh, that little A, B, I'm going to get that monster C. Maybe not. All right, now this B can go. We can get an expanded B here. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'd have a potential A, right? A candidate 1, 2, 3. There's the 4. There's the 5. So that would be the A. Looking for a B, could have a C up here. Maybe we're gonna go up double top. What's up here? Stops are up here. Get something like this. Now we got a B here. Let's take these down. So you got a couple of very valid counts here, and I know there are others. Tony Talon, another sensei of mine, has got one that's interesting. Something like this, A, B, C, before we come back down. So a lot of question marks here. But for just the basic, okay, well, we've got something ripping here. We've got the ingredients in the background, i.e. more bank failures, right? So if we get something like this coming down here, don't hesitate. Use something. Right? Take it if you're a bull, right? If you see the potential there, just don't be scared of it. It's a rough trip to get down here, right? And you kind of have the same problem here. How are you finishing here? You can't, right? I mean, you can Elliott shuffle it. Ugh, can you? Just out of curiosity, can we squeeze it in there? I don't know that we can. Let's just, before I get off of this. Jesus Christ, where's my? Here it is. I have to do this, or I can't find it. Oh, let's go to 15 minute. Can we wedge that in there? I suppose you could force fit it. Leading. It ain't pretty. But if we're off, right, and his count ends up playing, if we're off, right, that you're going to be back here doing it that way. 1, oh shit. 2, even that 1, 2, 3, 4. This has to be the 4 into the 5. Tricky, right? So my suggestion would be not to get so caught up in where's the perfect count. I'd look for, okay, where's the support, right? So this would be an obvious location, right? We just, as we look at it here. So I've got order blocks down here. I got a high volume node. Maybe you catch the edge of it, right? Market likes to ping before it gets there. You come down here, maybe you're getting the B, maybe you're getting the 4, but you got reasonable upside here, whether it finishes as a B or we're starting off on a new trend. This trade is very takeable, right? But don't buy the high. I shouldn't say it that way. This would be the highest risk place to be a buyer. Down here, again, we cut it in half. At least you're buying closer to discount rather than paying full retail. All right, so, what did I have here? Let's go back to that 4. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how this plays because it's such an unusual count. And you have such an interesting time to have Bitcoin rallying as all these bank failures are happening. We couldn't script a better macro picture. But to keep going, right, it's going to take an abnormal kind of a setup here. All right, shit, that's probably too much on that. All right, let me get back to what you guys are doing. Who's that? Okay. Submit charts. Okay, so I think we got Bitcoin covered. Okay, so I've got, now Orly gave me ETH, but let's see if he reposted because his link didn't work. He gave me ETH. Okay, so we'll go here and look at ETH here. This is how I left it. Equally is funky. Let's go to a 1 hour here. But the finish here is just butt ugly. Some sort of, maybe you got a triangle here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to finish it there. Same, very, very similar issue. Okay, so can we finish it here? 1, well, I guess we'll do the 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I guess we'll put it here. 5. It almost doesn't matter, right? We're just going sideways here. We get a candidate for a 4, whether it's A, B, C, D, E into a 4 here. I know you can't see that very well. Get that out of there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we have it? It's iffy, right? It's just what can we deduce from this distribution, right? Now, of course, it's easier after the fact. But let's look below, right? This is a cluster of green and red. You got pretty hot here on the high. Look at the divergence here with the RSI. From this peak to this peak, right? We got a new price high. Always easier after the fact, always, right? I mean, that we're all brilliant after the fact. But it sure does look like I can squeeze a 5 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got that same problem on that finish, right? So something, you've got a reasonable candidate here for a 5. So looks a little cleaner here, 1, 2, 3 into a B. So just, right? It's always, until it's over, we don't know, right? We can just work off of what we see. All right, so what's the next thing, right, would be you'd want to do here, just standard ops, right? Where's Waldo? Well, we're right to a 50, just taking that swing from high to low, 50 at an order block. Do you want to buy? I don't. It's not that I'm scared of it, right? It's not. This is what I was saying. You can't be scared of here, but that would make no sense to me to be a buyer there. Why would I buy right at the halfway point? While we're doing it here, if anything, right? I'm at halfway here. Where's the better risk reward? I would propose it to you that way. Now, do I want Ethereum to go down? Absolutely not. But you got to think somewhat objectively here in terms of where's the trade? Is there a trade? First question is there a trade? But here I can get 3.7 to 1. If I'm going the other direction, right, what would your assumption be here? Oh, that this is some sort of a, Jesus, what would you even do with that? A, B, C, the correction's over here. Would that make sense? I mean, could anything's possible, of course, right? So could we be done here at the 38? Maybe it's a 4. Does it look like I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4? It looks like that's complete, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the 3. Let's take you up a degree. 3, 4, 5 ABC. I don't really have it. This is where I'm looking for it. Down here. Can I do that? Yes, I can. Right here. Now, again, just thinking, okay, if I cut it in half, can I be a buyer down here? Into all this consolidation here, low volume node, or here I've got an algo target. That's the trade that I would see. I would be more aggressive here. Oh, because what am I anticipating? Right, 1, 2, 3. What do you see? Right there's not a right answer with regards to the TA until after the fact. But you don't have to be. You can be wrong and still make money. Right, this is something that new traders struggle with. One, if we start to go 3, 4, 5, you can take your stop and get on the long side. Right, don't be afraid to reverse position if it starts to show itself. The other is, I mean, you can be right about the trade and fuck it up because you're like, oh shit, I got nervous when we got here, so I took the trade, but I only got 0.47 to 1 because I got nervous. Well, I mean, you can see one, right? You can look at this and say, oh, I saw all of that structure here, and I thought, oh well, I had a little winner, so I took it. Right now, that's where you have to decide in your own mind what is more painful to you, to take the small winner and see it go much lower, and you left that on the table. To see this go, and you're like, oh shit, it's a good thing I got out. Right? You got to make that deal with yourself before you take the trade. Right, and you got to be at peace with it. It can't be like, oh, I knew that thing wasn't good. I shouldn't have taken that trade. Right? That's a cycle of self-destruction that will do nothing but harm your ability to take the next trade and the next trade. You got to just, again, it's just another trade. It can't be life and death. All right, that's ETH. I don't think we have any. I think it's the same situation right here. Until we see, are we going to go up here and get something more meaningful, more significant here? I think this is very dubious, right? We're just kind of in this range. So that would not be one I would be overly aggressive on. Okay, Jojo. Jojo's been posting regularly. Let's see what Jojo's thinking here. Okay, Jojo. Jojo's given me power. Oh, I think she gave me this last week. Oh, right. Yeah, I remember her. Jesus, I think it's based on the avatar. I'm assuming that's a woman. So what is it you're giving me here? You're giving me monthly. Oh, that's kind of nice. You're giving me monthly, weekly. You're giving me all the support and resistance. So this is, a lot of people trade this way. This is a very foundational way they approach the market. And there's no Elliott here because I always tell people no Elliott required. Now, can we use the Elliott here to be useful? Does it look like it would be useful here? Let's see. So it's COVID. Well, so the Elliottician right off the bat, you see the problem here. Now we are in log scale. Do we need it? Yeah, we do. So what's the new Elliottician might look at this and go, oh, I see it. Oh, well, that makes perfect sense. I think you'd have to do it here, right? This is a little tricky here. It looks like you got a triangle there. Looks like you'd have to do this for that 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so can we make that work? Well, what's a rule we cannot break? Right, we can't break that rule. Right, so we can't have the third be the shortest, which it would be here. See, would be the shortest. So we have to reconsider that. Even though there's a beautiful impulse right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, beautiful impulse. Can't do it, and I can't have a triangle in the 2. Oh, let's see. Can I do it? No, I don't think you can. So you're a little screwed with that. Okay, so one thought is, oh, all right, well, maybe the Elliott's not here, right? But just work off the support and resistance. Look how nicely the support and resistance is playing here. So these are monthly, purple's monthly. It's nice. So, and these are value rate gap, fair value gaps is what I'm trying to say. We got earnings on deck. Something came out today. Bank worries persist. Earnings coming up on the 31st, right? So you've got a little time here. So this looks like, oh shit, that looks like a 5-3, but it looks like you got an ABC there. So you're a little screwed here. So you can't count it that way. And this is a tricky one. Maybe that's why she didn't put any Elliott on there. All right, so we already have an overlap here. So we can't go 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? We can't have that overlap. This is a bitch. Ugh. How are we going to count that? Son of a bitch. That might take a little more time than I'm going to have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like you can get it. You've got this. It's in there. 3, 4, 5. It looks like that's in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You might have to do it here. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So I've got that impulse there. But that's a fucker, right? So, well, that might take a little more time. I'll tell you what, Jojo, I think what you're doing here may just play beautifully. Oh, we could probably spend an hour here, right? But it's a 3, right? So it's probably a combo of some sort. But we've got a 3 correcting, but it seems to be correcting from this pivot. This is the problem child. What are we doing with that? And you got an impulse there. God, this is a man, sometimes you never know what you're going to get into there. 1, 2. Well, you're going to have to do it that way. You're going to have to go. All right, so this is very bullish. 1, 2. Well, this just has to come down here. Those have to go up. We're stuck with that. So you'd have to do it this way, as far as I can tell. Right, one of my guys might have something better. Come here. Let's put that in green. 1, some sort of combo here. Impulse being corrected. So this is mighty bullish. So let's complete it with some Elliott channeling. Oh. Right, center line, right? That's kind of a tell that we pivot on the center line. So 1, 2, let's just see if we can get the whole thing. Is this even reasonable? How far are we talking about going? Okay, 2, 6, 1, 8 seems reasonable. We can get that. 1, 2, just out of curiosity. It's going to be too sharp, but too sharp to be in play here. But right, I just, so you're like, oh, great, man. Why do you do that? Why was that rubbing in salt in the wound? Like, oh shit, yeah, of course, right? Would have been great after the fact. I do that just to remind you that that's still the highest odds in trading in technical analysis. That's it. It's number 1 with a bullet. There's nothing even close. Nothing even close to median lines. Still, what happened here? Okay, good. Right now and then I have issues, right? So there's your 80%, right? From that pivot. Now, would you have known, right? It's not a traditional second. You wouldn't have known, right? But there's your 80% right there. Best odds, right? Isn't that amazing? It's the best odds in trading. It's the least used technical tool of all. The least. That's why it's right in the middle of my logo. Not because it's the least used, but because I'm trying to teach you to use it, right? Okay. How would we have another one here? We would, right? So possibly we've got this in play. 1, 2, right? So now it's 80% that it tags it. It doesn't mean, oh, it can't get through. I mean, we could blow right through. But 80% that you get there, that's the big number. Right? Where else in trading do you get 80%? In technical, only other place is selling options. That's it. To even get close. There's nothing else even close. 1-2, right? So if you're a bull, well, how would you? So if you're like, oh, great, okay, thanks for teaching me, showing me everything that's already happened. What am I going to do now? Well, that sure looks like a candidate for a 1-2, right? If it's going to do it, right? We don't know, but if it's going to do it, right? Why would you not take that trade? Right there. Line up in all this. I can't see her. You'd be in between a weekly and a monthly pivot here if you're going to get the, well, there's a, this is, what is that? That is your monthly, right? So these monthlies seem to be really tagging next monthly. So if that comes down in the 3, that's right there, right in line. Again, why would you not take that trade? If you're looking for something traditional, Palo Alto, right? Do they get any stronger? Probably not. Why would you not take it? Well, maybe you're crypto only. Maybe, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the only reason you'd not take it is you're out of capital. It's already allocated, or you have something you like better. Now, we're not there yet, but boy, watch list. Good one, Jojo. Thank you. Okay, here's, when I goose these guys, the members for trades, my team will often step in and give me one of their counts because we were a little short on charts today. I always appreciate when they do that because that's always I'm looking for content from members and people on the team. We can see how they're doing, right? That's the whole goal here is we're trying to see how the members, students are progressing. Now, PK, right, is very, very skilled Elliottician, right? So he's so what's he giving? Oh, he's giving me Bitcoin. Oh, let's see. So your chart said you're giving me your Bitcoin. Well, so your chart says EOS. So maybe if I put your EOS on here, I get that EOS. What do you give it to the USD? Crypto cap. Crypto cap. Oh shit, no, I don't want that. Crypto cap. No. Crypto cap, where are you? I don't see it. Okay, hang on, guys. Well, let's just go. Let's go Coinbase. Shit, man. So you know what, PK? If you're on, yeah, you are on. If you're on, shoot me over your EOS because that link sent me to your Bitcoin, which it's not that I don't want to look at it. Oh wait. Now how the fuck did that happen? All right, now I have it. Okay, never mind. How did that happen? So when I went copy. I get Bitcoin. That's why. Okay, we'll come back here. For whatever reason, it doesn't like the copy. Could it be? Oh, maybe I need this. No, I got Bitcoin twice. Okay, so wherever something got askew here. So I have an image here. I can't really work with it. I can scrunch it. I can't get rid of those. Okay, so can I bring these down? Yeah, I can. Let's bring it down a little bit. All right, this is some fancy footwork here. This is several members have been in this for a while, and we're all struggling with this. Now, one thing that's annoying here, I'll try and be sensitive to it, is I can't take the crosshairs off, and I know I talk with my hands. Look at this fancy footwork here. 1, A, expand the B into the C of the A. Boy, that would be a good one for a purple belt. A, then we're going to go A, B, C, D. It looks like E into the B. So some sort of sideways action here for the B into the C. So I've got, oh man, this is a tricky one. So he's going to go from this A, B. Now, so what's driving that, right? You see the 5 here. He's got to figure that out somehow. How do we deal with that 5? Well, something ends here and begins. So what's an alternate? I think we were previously counting this as an expanding diag, but this is well, you end up in the same location, although you're dealing with the 5 here. So you'd have to force fit it. Oh, shit, I don't think you can actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think he's got it actually. No, I don't think you can go 1, 2. Oh Jesus, can we even do it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leading diag, but then I got an impulse, right? So it doesn't fly. So he may have had that earlier on, but as it sits right now, there's the 5, right? That's influencing the count. So from there, I get a 2. Then I get a clear impulse, 3, expanding triangle. That's sexy, right? So then up for the 5. A, expand the B. Got to deal with another impulse here. A, right? We don't get a 1. So now right here, it would have been easy to be thinking, oh, I got it. I see it, right? There's the 1, there's the 2. Ha, right? You're thinking, oh, shit, man, good. Oh, yeah, we're going, right? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen with EOS. So you're stuck going, okay, well, if not that, then this. Oh, shit, can I do that? I guess I can't. The hazards. I can't take things off. Okay, so 1A. I guess I can do this. There's the B, right? So I've got another funky. Right? Look at all the irregular patterns here. This is more like a brown belt test. This would be a very challenging count, right, to put that in front of someone who's not very, very skilled, because you got to deal with all these 3s, and you got 1 impulse in here. Well, pardon me, I got 2 here. Well, I guess we can call this an impulse. Very wacky correction. 3, unusual but very valid correction. There's the impulse, A, B, C. You think you got it. We're right at the 50 from swing low to swing high. You're in the discount zone, right? So that's the time to be a buyer, but you didn't get your 1, 2, 3. You got a 3, so you might have been thinking, oh, A, B, C, it's a diag. But when we do this, that doesn't look so good. So A, W, X, Y into the B. Coming down for the C, where's the next buy, right? So potentially you got golden zone down here. I'll do that. So what to do with this? Throw it on your watch list, right? Contenders. Maybe set an alert down here where if this rolls over, and we start to head down, do you think there's going to be an effort to try and get the liquidity there? Yes, right? Every pivot. Always, right? There's stops at every pivot. Always, every market. So can they get them? It would finish the count, right? Now they might take it further. Oh shit! Once I stop, I can't keep it. They might take it further. Nice structure down here. 1, boy, that would be a long, rough road to get there, to get to the golden zone. Okay, once you get there, again, you don't have to sit with a limit order. Show me a 5. What am I on here? On a 4-hour. Okay, so show me. So you might, this would be very common, right? Bump your head at the prior support. There's the trade. 3, 4, 5. I got my 1, right? Now don't think we're going to the moon. Even though it's possible we're doing that, it's not probable. So, do you want to give back half of it, right? Because likely that's what's likely going to happen. You're going to retrace it. So when you get moonshots in your eyes, catch yourself saying, okay, is there a driver for ES to go that far, or is it more probable, given the chop monster here, that I'm going to do? Maybe I get a 5, and then I'm going to get a 3 you can kind of see how that could all just come back together. All right, we'll come in here. Oh, down for 3. Right, so the Elliott is giving you this little roadmap based on tendencies, not certainties. It's all just probabilities. There would be your, and what would we have to finish it? Right? If I don't have it, I don't have it. If I get it, that's what I'd be looking for. So down here, put an alert on it. We get down here, you get something like this that starts to shake, so I can put a trade on with very reasonable risk reward. Boom, off you go. All right, okay, I got you guys writing to me here. Okay, so seeing Salazar. Oh, this ought to be interesting. I'm going to resist the temptation to comment because I am not a fan. There's as much comment as I'm going to give. Okay. I know I risk alienating half of my own. Oh, well, those in the U.S. All right, I got Fox. CN Salazar always comes through. Whenever I ask for charts, he always posts. Just such a good member. Okay. What are we doing here, CN? What a cluster that is. Well, my guess is Tucker, no Tucker, their viewers, nothing going to change, right? Zero change, right? Just like when O'Reilly left, and Ailes left, all of them, right? They're going there to be told what they want to hear and not to actually get anything other than that. Okay, so do we have a clusterfuck here? Yeah, we do. All right, well, let's just look at the range. Where do you want to be buying in the discount? You got a golden zone here. Jesus. What are we even calling this? Elliott here is, I mean, can we label it? Yeah. Is it helpful here? I don't really think so. I don't see, there's nothing. You probably got a diag here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plenty of overlap. You might have another one here, assuming you're going to finish your correction here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Oh, that's a cluster. So here, I don't think it's adding any value. Let's see where Waldo is. All right, so did we get him here? Yes. Here. See, if the Elliott's not there, so the ABCs, okay, that can be a little bit of a driver. Or CN Salazar, he knows what he's doing, right? He's been with us for quite a while. So see, he's not even labeling it because it's not really helping. All it's doing is just showing you 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. But what's really driving us here, right? We're just just algo ping pong. One golden zone to the next golden zone. One golden zone to the next golden zone. Probably, I'd be willing to bet you. You have it here as well. All right, there's your tag. Probably goes again. 618. You see that? You see how consistent these are? So, okay, do we have an Elliott count? No. Where's the current trade? Right here. Right there. That's the current trade in all of this mess, assuming you want to trade it. But look at his comment, right? Probably best to avoid it. But if gun to your head, if you're going to take the trade, you're going to buy low and sell high, right? We're in the box, right? Here's the support. We know where to put the stop, right? That's not difficult. If you're going to trade it. Okay, I'm going to put it just underneath here. So what's my risk reward? Again, it's just another trade. Don't get caught up into it. Right now, of course, you're going to have to, one side's going to have to break. 6-1, right? Assuming you can break this side and get to that target. Would you have something there? Still, it would be kind of elusive. It's another WX. I like his thinking. Best to avoid it in every possible way. Whoop! Oh shit! I'm letting my bias show again. Okay. But CN, right? As I always, he always posts for me. I appreciate it. Fast Lane Hawk. What do we got here? Copy link. What are you giving me? Fast Lane. He's been posting a lot lately. Let's see how his work's coming along. That's the other thing. We get to kind of see how people are progressing with what we're teaching. Not that ours is the only way. It's just what we teach. Okay, so I don't think I can, you didn't give me, I don't think that works that way. Let's see, I don't think I can copy it that way. Yeah, I'm just going to get a copy of a copy. Okay, but this is some nice work. So what are we doing here? Render token. So we're kind of in, oh, I got it. I see what he's doing. So he doesn't have the full history. So he's kind of teeing up the implied history, or shit, maybe that's from another exchange. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So something completes up. Well, sure looks like 3. So maybe that you bring that 4 down a little bit so you get an overlap here. So you'd have a leading diag. Well, that's kind of what he's implied. ABC into a 1, 2. You do ABC here, and then you'd have to bring that 4 down to get a little overlap, right? So that if you're implying it, right, does it matter if I can? Okay, so what did we just looked at, right? We go Fox, golden zone to golden zone, right? This is what the market does. A triangle B, nice work there, A, B, C, D, E, straight shot down, right? You got to do something with this. Let's see. Yeah, there's a 5 here. You got A, B, C. You could do W, X, A, B, C. Doesn't matter, right? So, I mean, it's corrective, right? Here's the push, here's the correction, now we go sideways. There is no count there. No idea how to count this. But that's well done. This is a fast lane hawk, right? So it's a good idea here. Is there a count here? It's not. Can we? Probably. Is it useful? Not particularly. But the channel is useful. So we're going sideways. Here's what's happening here, right? That's a liquidity grab all the way back down to the bottom. What's happening down here, right? Where are the stops? Right to the structure here. So this is a lot of times this is the breakout traders are coming back. Oh God, maybe we'll defend here, or the short sellers. Right, there's two things that happen here. The people that shorted it here watch this happen, comes back here like, oh God, just get me out of break even. Right, so they buy. Right, it goes. What did you get me? You gave me a daily. Yeah. Not much you can do with it. It needs to get a little further along. So 1, 2, maybe you're A, B, C. It's just there's no value there until we get either break this side or this side. So we're just stuck in a box. So this would be your hurry up and wait, I think, for render token. Of course, you could always put it on a weekly, and this will condense a bit. I don't think there's much to do here until you get on the other side of that. So if it gets on the other side, then you can come back down. Just like this, we broke the consolidation. From consolidation comes expansion. You come back and you retest it, right? This is something I show you guys all the time. Don't worry about this. This is not the trade you want. This is a much better trade. It's a much more tactful, intelligent trade. You're buying at support instead of, right, where's retail buy? Oh, it's probably safe now. No, this is where retail buys it. Oh, it's safe now because they don't know that's there. All right. Fast lane hawk. How are we doing on time? Oh, shit, I'm going awful fast. I got a few of you guys. Okay, so I did Bitcoin there. I got anything up above? Satoshi McAfee gave me one that's a little bit older, and I got I don't recognize this handle. Sunil, must be a new member on the Stockholm exchange. I looked at this because I didn't recognize the exchange. Let's see if I can get here. If I can get that. Yeah, same thing. I don't get a chart I can work with. Okay, well this is pretty reasonable. So clear overlap, right? So it looks like you could work it as a 5-3, 5-3, 5 diag. Nice little wedge ending up down here. Good divergence here. Is that a buy? Well, given that current price action, I'd say no, right? I mean, you'd want to get some little bit of momentum heading up, but you certainly are in the pocket. Shit, I wish I could. Ericsson B. Let me see if I can get that. Shit, I don't have one I can use. Damn it. Yeah, here I can. I can use this one. So this is Ericsson. This is stocks. Ericsson B. Is that it? Ericsson B. Yeah, that's gotta be it. Okay, and you gave me, what did you give me? You gave me daily, looks like a daily. Ericsson B. Okay, so do we need log? Yeah, we do. Oh shit, I'd have to get some more perspective on this. Let's go to a weekly. All right. I don't think I've ever looked at anything on the Stockholm Stock Exchange. Looks like they're just as technical as any. Well, there's the diag that he's got mapped out. That's a mighty brutal wick, right? So, but it plays 5, 3. That's a skinny 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, mighty deep, and then shit. Pick your 2. 2, 3, 4, 5. Just out of curiosity, it looks like that's too far. Yeah, it's going to be too far. I'm curious how we're doing here. Okay, so does that look like a tasty buy? Okay, swing low, swing high. Okay, so could you talk yourself into it? All right, well, this looks like there's the zone that's of interest, right? So we tap, 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 tap. Oh, shit. Let's just put an RSI on there. Oh, this one's good. There's not. I would be waiting myself, right? So something very aggressive has happened there. So I wouldn't go after that one, Eric, until I saw some signs of come up here and test some of this. Look over, right? So come up, test that, but maybe bump your head. Give me a 3 down here, and then I might look for that. But right now, when you have this push phase here, it's a push down. Even though we're in the area of interest here, I want to see that break. I'd want to see some sort of a break here, and then of course, as Al Brooks taught us, right, when you break a trend like that, anticipate another low here. So you might count that out this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. So now you're kind of fucked. I suppose you'd have to do it this way. Looks like A, B, C. Your best case. Is that what you gave me? I think you did. Yeah, A, B. Ooh, that's a stretch there. To go A, B, C. I think not on that, actually. I think that's too much to stretch. Same thing, right? Whether you're using a trend line here, even though I see what you're doing, you're going to have to get a little bit more of a break in that. That trend line is tight. It's a good way. So if you're going to do it here, I would do this, maybe, right? So at least I'm controlling the risk. Something like that. I wouldn't give it anything much beyond that pivot. As you're sitting there, ideally it would look like that, right? Up, down. Okay. Hey, I've given my weekly count. Also, I got it. Okay, so let me get it. Oh, he's listening. That's good. So I can see his weekly since I just went to weekly since I couldn't tell what the hell was there. Okay, right. 1, 2, and there's the leading diag and the C, right? So he and I are both in sync on this. 1 doesn't matter, right? Let's call it a 3. Oh, you can just do A, B, C, right? So you get that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually clean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So this is good looking 1, good looking wide flat. Right. So just I'm assuming, right, Sunil, that you know you've got a diag and that it's a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. I don't think you need to do that. I can't move it, right? So I don't think you need to go wacky there. I think you can go A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to finish in that wedge. Okay, how are we doing on time? Okay, it's 12:30. Exactly right. 1, 2. Yeah, the 1, 2 looks good, but it's a little, boy, that's catching the knife. I'd want to see a little bit more from that. All right, let's see. I guess that's everybody. Let's get back over here. Oh, let's see something I can give you guys. Let's go over here. Run through a few. I'll just go through my watch list since I've got some extra time. Let's take Bitcoin. Here, give me a second on this one. That's a market profile on there. Let's break that off a little bit. All right, so I got a few things that I use on here. So of course I've got Sonar Labs, right? Market structure. Oh, we can take this is just it's kind of a cool tap lot mini coil, right? It's just highlighting little areas of consolidation. It's kind of a handy. Somebody turned me on to that some time ago. Okay, so let's just do a few that are on my watch list. Here's one I've been watching. Push, consolidate, push. So you see the did we get a clean one? It looks like you're down there. Although it's fishy, right? Are we really done, right? You don't really know here until here. So let's get that labeled. Let's go to a 30. See if we can make sense of that. This is a fairly good example of where you have to go with what's implied. What are you doing with that? You're gonna put it here? I suppose you could do it this way. That may be a better fit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 3. Okay, there we go. This push, consolidate, push. Right? It almost doesn't matter at this point. Push, consolidate, push. Right? That's what we've got. Right? That's all the market does. Right? We're gonna in some degree of that. Okay, impulsive, consolidation, impulsive. Okay, so can we label this coming out of this? Well, it looks like you could go in here and do the same thing. Some sort of corrective action. Looks like you're stuck with that, at least for the time being. Let's go in white. It's not a great looking one. Not a great looking 2. But again, that's what you got to work with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got a good 3 here. So 1, 2. Maybe so. I'd start with traditional, right? Okay, so there's the first channel. So if we're going to come back down, the next thought is, okay, this potentially, or either of these can be support. Well, this is your traditional. Let's bring that down since that's less emphasis. Right, and then we put the more traditional here with throw over here. Right now, if you go up, if you do it up here, right, the 3 leaves it wanting, right? So, but you've got this good impulse here. So that's just out of curiosity. Right, you wouldn't put it here, right? So second most probable 138, which we get it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Until proven otherwise, I think you hold with that. That's your count coming off the low here. What do we run into, right? So sometimes just mapping this stuff out, right into the last order block, reaction. What do we do here? Next order block, reaction. So if this is going to hold, and okay, 1, the 2, the 2 to the 4 is a little suspect, but. And this may be 1, 2, 3, working on the 4. There may be another kick here. And then you can also just look at this and say, okay, accumulation. This way. Right, where are the buys? Right down here, where we hold, because I promise you, right, as you've heard me say 10,000 times, we know there are stops down here. Right, no question about it. Right, they've got a pivot there. If they can't get them. Right, they got to cover, because I promised you they were going for them. So now up here, Who's a buyer up here? Who's likely to be longing it right there? Oh, it's safe now. Looks like that's not done yet, doesn't it? Although that's not much of a, maybe something like that. Let's get you in blue. Maybe there's another kick to get to that next supply zone, order block, call them what you will. Any sort of median lines here are going to be too sharp, I guess. Maybe not. We got the upper edge of it here. So this, right? We got the POC. So if this is A working on a B, and we're going to come back in here, something like this, all of this consolidation, you can. I mean, boy, again, why not? Why would you not take that trade? I'm not kidding when I say that. Why would you not take it? Only one reason, right? Either you're out of firepower, or you got something you like better. That's a good looking trade. Kind of do the same thing here. Well, let's buy in the discount as we tag the median line. I'm sure going to put a stop on it. What's there? Reasonable target. Reasonable stop. There's 3.5 to 1. But what is it? Just another trade. Win, lose, lose, next trade. Win, next trade. Right? It can't be life and death for every trade. There's just you gotta take that emotion out of it. It's just another trade. Let me see what else I've got on this watch list. How we're doing? We'll go for another 15 here. Some of this stuff I didn't. Some of these I think are uncountable. This is interesting. ADA. Get this. So I'm just pulling these off of what I can trade on our sponsored exchange, BitGet, since they sponsor us. Right, so this was nice little pushes down here. What's happening down here? So is there anybody unsure what happened there, given what came off of this? You think there were some breakout traders here thinking, oh, it's going to zero. I see it. It's going to zero. Now let's get a little more perspective on this. This is got to go to log scale. It's not much of a difference. Okay, so we could kind of look at this like this, right? Only the inexperienced are selling down there. That's too much. Let's get to a 4. Right, you're in an order block. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right there. There's your order block. Look, I just tagged just on the other side of the discount. So we're coming out of that order block. Oh, this is a bitch. I think we looked at this. I think we have to, shit, PK is going to kick me if I get this wrong. I think we did that. I think you got to go triangle here, A, B, C, D, E. This is obviously not a, it's obviously not an impulse here, but I think it's, again, you've got to go with the implication here of the wave structure, right? So this is the consolidation, and then we finish with, but interestingly, we finish with what looks like, no, we could do it as an ABC. So you got an ABC in there. A, B, C. So it's a candidate for a leading diag, right? Probably alternate counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, same problem, right? So all of crypto is questionable because is that we're finishing with a 3 again. Now, are we going to do an Elliott shuffle to squeeze it in there? Well, if this thing flies, yeah, likely. Where do we retrace from? You guys can't. That seems it's hard to see that. That pop a little bit more. For a reason that's a little faded there. Where do we pivot? POC. Alternate. All right, is there something here we haven't seen? Things that don't happen randomly, right? Pivot, swing, pivot, pop, second target, right? Things that these things don't happen randomly, right? We are not that precise, right? Only software, right? So you got here. Well, pardon me. This one breaks. This one, we'll go to the 50. Target, 50. Target, target, second, like a nice cluster here of second targets. So what, as it sits right here in that order block, what would your first thought be? Wonder why it's stopping there. I wonder why. I can't seem to think of why it would stop there. Now, of course, that doesn't mean it can't get through. It just means that when you're looking at going, why there? Why does it stop there? Why does it stop here? 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 Right? It's all algos. You can fight it or you can accept it. So what do we want to do? We want to get in with the algos, right? We just want to follow them, right? And then we're going to use a little Elliott Wave for potential directions so that we can get some context, because otherwise you're like, well, fuck, man, how do I know who's going to win? Right? If they're on both sides, how do I know? You don't. You won't. So all we can do is just use some of the tools that we have, right? Things that we know the market responds to. Geometry. There's a break. Break of that big channel. Well, let's put that in context. Where are we? Sure looks like a 3, doesn't it? Let's go out to an 8. What do we do with that? Does that look impulsive? Well, maybe it's going to need to come out of here pretty big, right? That's, if this is 1, 2, well, that's not 3. Well, let's take a look here. What are we? Same process, right? I'd be kind of looking here, a little wiki there, second target. That's just wick on the top. Looks better right here. Look, got the 50, back to the 50. So how do we know it's an algo? There, right? It's not this. It's what happens at the target, right? That's how you know it's an algo, right? Second target. How do we know? How do we know? Right? Golden zone. Not to target yet, right? So you can look here and go, oh, if that's going to get there, it's going to have to break that golden zone, right? So that's always the A, the B. Oh, is it going to be a C? But if we break, well, now we're trying to get to that target. From that algo is going to stay long until it gets there, right? Or maybe we get second target here. So if it's going to keep going here, where's the third? Up here. So now you're thinking 1, 2. Let's label it. Oh shit! I think you have to do 1 A B C 2. Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be way up there, right? So if we're going to have a crypto ripper, this is what it's going to look like. Let's get all this out of here. All right. Yeah. A, B, C. Perfect golden zone. What else would we have? Golden corner. That's the GOT EMA. Those are pretty good. Tagging it as we tag the golden zone, as we're hitting that structure, as we hit the POC. You're not too late. Now, well, you're maybe a touch too late. You might wait for the next retrace. Right. But if this is 1, 2, we're going to need a 1 of the 3. So let's map it. A good one here to do a little work on. That's 1, 2. Well, let's put it in the most probable location with a ping of the median line. Since I have 80% probability that I get there, I think people hear that and they go, "All right, bullshit. Oh, fuck, that's something you read in a book." Man, I've lived it for a lot of years. I tell you, don't discount that. You're making a mistake doing that. And the market has an unbelievable capacity to punish mistakes. So if this is 1, 2, and this is 1, now maybe we're not done yet. Maybe we're going to do something deeper here. That would be perfectly reasonable. It's 80%, remember, 80% as long as this pivot holds. Now, trading principle number 4, if we don't get the median line move equal to or greater than the swing that failed to get there. Now you'd look at this and go, oh, well, I was completely dead ass wrong. It's not a 1, 2, 1, 2. It's an ABC, and we're going down, right, to take out that low. Well, we having a big alt run if that's happening? I would think Cardano would be participating if we are. So right now you can't make that distinction, right? Let's do it. If we're coming here, right? How would you know? Would you still be a bull here? That's the question. Well, I would propose to you that that's a trade you want, right? Because the risk reward, not because I know that that count is right, but because the risk reward is so good. Oh, if I get there, I can get 17.5 to 1. As opposed to, oh, okay, well, I suppose it's not terribly much worse, right? If you take it here on the short side, your stop's the pivot, your target would be a new low. It's 5 to 1. It's not as good, but perfectly reasonable if you want to take the short side of it. Pick a side. What do you see? 1, 2, 1, 2. It doesn't look like we'd be done there. It really doesn't. Looks like A working on B. A, B, C. Well, now you're kind of back to the conundrum of Bitcoin. Is this A, B, C into some sort of a flat and we're going down? And the B is in and we're going down for the C? Well, how are you going to know? Quit look. You're not going to know. You never know. You never know. Ever do you know the outcome? All you got is probabilities. So when you see a golden corner set up and you go, I remember that guy telling me I had 80% odds if I can get that. Well, if you don't, go study it. Don't take my word for anything. Right? I teach what was taught to me, right? And then my experience over many, many years of doing this. Don't take my word for it. Do a little research. What is it? Do your own research. Don't listen to some guy on YouTube. Do it yourself. Right? That's the whole goal. That was the whole goal when I started TradeDevil. Get you to the point where you didn't need anyone. Right? Are we done there? Is that 3? And this is, well, we can't be done there because I got a new low here. So it looks like, if anything, this would be A, B, we're working on the C. All right, so just as we just mapped it out, what's the holdup? Why do we stop? 50. So is there a trade there? Well, that's tricky. You're in, do you see how you're pinging? You're from 150 to the next 50. You're just right in the box there. I might want to get that a little bit more, because if you were going to be long, you don't want to be buying right at the 50, right into the structure, right at the median line. You don't want to be buying there. You're too late, right? If anything, you'd be selling there, looking for the C. So, but if you're stubbornly bullish, oh, maybe I'm going to get this. Maybe it's done. Doesn't look like it, but that's it. Nobody knows. 1, 2, 3. That's, looks like you'd have to finish it there. So you'd have to do A, B, C. It looks more like a 5. So that's why I'm reluctant to say, oh, just balls deep. Go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, because you've got a series of 3s here. I don't have a clean finish, so your assumption would be, oh, it's A, it's B, it's C, and it's technical because we haven't corrected this fully, and we just hit a 50, and we're at a supply zone. I'm not saying short it. I'm saying that's not a great place. Now, again, we could go to new all-time highs. That's not a great place to be a buyer. Again, just sometimes just making it simple. Okay, am I paying full retail or am I buying it on sale? That's full retail, my friend. You're buying it full retail. Why would you do that? Well, because I knew it was going to do that. I knew it was going to go. Well, first place, you didn't know. If it does go, you just got lucky. You don't know. Nobody knows.
Unknown caller.
Sorry, guys. Let it retrace. Now, at least I'm buying into structure here. The edge of a ledge, as it's called here, before I get into that high volume here where anything can happen. It might come down here, but at least I can buy it in the discount looking for that. It doesn't have to be that complicated. We complicate it because we're trying to be perfect, because we don't want to lose money, because we're fearful. No, you can't be reckless, but you can't be fearful. Let's see, do I have anybody else? Okay, I think we're all good with Sunil. All right, let's see if I get one more here, because we're running out of time. There were a couple in here that were just god awful. There's no count. This one of them. AVAX. What are you doing with that? That's just hurry up and wait until that clarifies. MATIC was, I think, the same. What is it? It's just a big, sorry, I'm kind of taking using this today. Okay, well, at least we're in the discount zone. Let's look at that. Let's go out to the daily. What do we got here? What do we have there? Well, first, so this, I say this, I don't mean to be glib. If I bring this up, I'm looking for a trade, I'm already gone. I'm gone. What? There's nothing here. Nothing here I can work with. There's no, is there something there? Yeah, well, can I label it? Probably. Oh shit, here, but why so many things to trade. Why am I fucking around with that? I don't know. What if I gun to my head? Let's see. I just think you can be picky about what you choose to trade. Where do you put risk? Oh shit, maybe I'm too quick. Oh shit. Okay, something just happened. OBS, maybe that's telling me it's time to go. Reconnected. Okay, so I guess it did reconnect. Okay, so if I had to, here, shit. I was gonna be done here. 1, 2, 3, something like that. But that looks impulsive, right? ABC, God, can you do it here? You're stuck with us again. If it's not, if you go through that list, we're gonna find some that look like this. Maybe you get that. Okay, now that's a different story, right? This, why make it so hard on yourself? Oh, fuck, I don't know. Something. Can we label it? Yeah. Do I have any certainty? I'm already, as I said, I'll wait for something that's better. If I love this project, okay, maybe I'll grind out a count, but I don't see any reason to be taking that trade right there. What? So let's see if we can find a good one here. Link, I think, was also terrible. Look at that, right? I don't even need to spend 30 seconds here. Sand. There's a 3. There's something. All right, so something complex is happening there. Do you need to spend a lot of time here? Well, you probably got your 1 golden zone. Let's take a peek here, see if there's anything on Sandbox. It's a little sloppy down here, but I'll just wick. Well, ABC, W, X, ABC. Doesn't look like we're done. Okay. Do we need to spend any more time? No. As far as I'm concerned, okay, it stays on my watch list, but there's nothing here. I'm not like zeroing in on, okay, I see it. Oh, good. I'll wait for that. Nope. Next. Looks like I got an impulse there. Pull that back a little bit. XRP, approach with caution, right? This is all. That's not terrible. Okay, let's just look here. Well, it looks like you finished with a 5 here. Oof, do we overlap there? Looks like maybe we did not. If that's correctly labeled. Shit that doesn't happen randomly. 1, 2. Oof. You almost want it to overlap here because it looks like you don't have much of a, unless you're going to truncate that. I don't particularly love that. But okay, so a sloppy 5 that finishes again. Don't expect the Elliott to be perfect. 1, 2. Well, anybody want to guess what's there? Just take a wild guess. I mean, is there a chart I brought up that we didn't have it? No, it's always there. 1, 2, didn't quite get, well, we didn't quite get the 1618 because we ran into a supply zone. Okay, let's label it. Possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, what do we have here? It's not quite golden, but it's pretty damn close. Looks like already eaten the 80%. Right, did right here, right? So from golden zone to the median line to the target, there's your 80%. It's funny, right? I could say this till I'm blue in the face. People still aren't going to use it. Maybe a few of you will. So we're not overlapping here. So I've got a contender. Maybe that's a 3, 4. Okay, is there a trade there? Yeah, there sure is. Use the low. Maybe give it just a little, maybe let's do it this way. A little structure on that. Maximum. Right, if they're going to wick this out here, you're killing the impulse, right? So you don't need to give it a whole lot more than that. And ideally, you get in a little bit lower. Something like that if you can get it. And let's just use traditional Elliott. Let's take length of the 1, if that's the 4. I don't know that it is. Well, okay, if I get median line there, I've got 5 to 1. If I get a bigger kick here up towards the higher fibs, what's my resistance going to be? I'm going to use high to high, high to low. I know this is going to shock you. What do we run into? Right? Why? Why does it stop there? That's the question, right? That's plagued me for years. I was look at the chart and go, why does it stop there? Why there? Why not higher? Why not lower? Why there? Until you start using these, you're going to be just like I was. Well, fuck, I don't know why it stops there. God damn, it's making me mad. I went on a mission to figure it out. What else can we see here? You think maybe there were some stops right there? Did they grab some liquidity up here? What would make you think that oh, that's likely what they did? Because look how far we come off of it, right? As we hit the golden zone. You know somebody bought it there. Do you think that they knew they were buying into a golden zone? I'm going to suggest not, right? They don't know it's there. That's why they do it. So let's get that off of this, and let's get some traditional Elliott on here. All right, we can do it this way, right? You stay with this until you're forced out of it, which as we are now. Do it this way. Ramp you up a little bit. Bring it over. That's not bad. All right, so and sometimes I'll change the color or thickness based on what I'm. What I'm giving priority. Right, so I might go to 2 here and put that one in white. All right, I know this. The first one was there. Right, I know it's there, and that could come into play, right, if this thing starts to collapse. But this is the one I'm keying in, the traditional Elliott here. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I stay in that channel. Anticipate. Your anticipation is I'm going to stay in that channel. So it could be center line. Again, here's the 100, right? Maybe that's overly optimistic. Maybe we'll only get here. Yeah. Now, what does it have to do to get there? It's got to break that golden zone, right? They have to break, right? You go sideways forever, right? So for every one that they see, the people lose track of this. They see all the ones that hit. Well, for every one that hits, there's one that fails, right? So don't think, oh my God, I got the keys to the kingdom, right? That's why the Elliott, because otherwise, how do you know who's going to win? You don't, right? The Elliott gives you the context. Now you add in some other geometry and say the odds are. That's all we get is odds. Odds are we're going higher. Well, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Do I have a pattern I recognize? Yes. Can I understand why the 3 stopped there? Yes. Do I have an impulse in the 3rd? Yes. Do I have a 3 in the 4? Yes. Have I overlapped the 1? No. It's like a checklist. Is there good risk reward here? Yes. Take the fucking trade. Now, I don't mean take Ripple, but I mean, if you go down that checklist and you like it, don't go, okay, well, maybe I'll wait till it looks a little safer, right? What would make it look safer? Moving away from your entry, increasing the risk reward. Oh, it's going to be safer if I do this. Oh, that's safer. Well, what did you do to your risk reward? You don't. Now you're 1.4 to 1. Some people, that's enough. They can do it. I wouldn't, right? Because you know why I say that? Because I'm wrong so often, and have no trouble admitting that I'm wrong often. But that's not the name of the game. The point is not to be right. The point is to be profitable. And if you don't understand how you can be wrong often and still be profitable, you need to study. We can help you. That's about money management, right? So I often say, this stuff that we do here, the TA, that's the fun part. Managing your emotions when you've got money online, that's the hard part of trading. This is the fun part. Once you're in the trade, you know, how do you reduce the stress? If you're stressed, you trade it too big. If you need it, right, you're almost always not going to get it. You don't want to ever be in a trade that you need, because I can almost guarantee it'll be a loser. So how do you get out of that? Well, if you're in a trade that you need, then you're probably in a series of losers, which means rather than load to, so it's just human instinct, right? You're like, oh, fuck, man, I took 3 losers in a row. I'm going to go big here so I can get back to even. That's the exact wrong thing to do. The worst thing to do. Talk about adding to the stress, right? Because if you need it to be a winner, odds are very, very low, right? It's just the laws of trading, right? When you need it, because you've made a mistake. If you need a trade, you've made a mistake. Market has an incredible capacity to punish mistakes, and it'll do it to you until you stop making that mistake. Whether it's I traded too big, I was in revenge trading, whatever the mistake was. I rushed into the TA. I took someone's word for it. I didn't go through it myself, and so I feel the swings. I feel the setup. If you're not doing that, you're making a mistake, right? And then it's hope. Then it's the trader's prayer. Oh, just this one time. I'll never do it again. It's just like an alcoholic. Just get me home. I'll never drink again. What are they doing next weekend? Okay, I think that's enough preaching. Do we got anything new here? Injective is worth looking at. Injective. Oh shit, man. Injective? I don't even know what that is. Do I have time for it? Injective? Let's see if I can figure it out. Injective. This has got to be it. Injective. Let's go to KuCoin. I do have a KuCoin account. Okay. Oh, shouldn't say that one. My sponsorship watching. All right. Looks like you got maybe a leading diag there. Oh, shit. Yeah, looks like maybe you can get that done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's just call the big prints. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, right? So you got, oh fuck. So it's 5, the leading diag, 3, 5, 3, looks like 5. Well, let's see. Let's reconsider that. No, I think not, right? So you could, this maybe, right? But look at the 4 relative to the 2, it doesn't play as well, right? So I'd put this off. But now we get the overlap. So either it's 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's do it there. Excuse me. Looks very much like all, Bitcoin and most of the alts. That's a tricky one, but it does look like we've got a 5 going in here, right? So this looks like it's so far, right? It looks like it's pretty clean. So that would be, let's take you up. It's the same question mark. Is it a leading diag? You could do it ABC, but then this looks like you got an impulse here. Oh, shit. Looks like you could do it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got a good impulse. So it's either 1, 2, 1, 2, which I suppose is a candidate. Well, let's here, we'll finish up on this one. Let's map this out. Let's look at both ways. Okay, so this would be a very optimistic way to look at it. 3 is still going in. 4 is going in over here. So this would need to go up and get a new high here. So this would be 1, 2, so we could do it this way. I think you got to do it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is common practice for Elliotticians to have multiple counts. A lot of people put them, I'm sloppy, I'm not good with it, but a lot of people put them in their tree. George is really good at that. Okay, so this is really ambitious. Come here. This is deep, so may not be in play just yet. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So we'd be looking at this one. 1, 2. That's interesting. All right, so 1, 2, we're just high enough so we can call this a 3 at this degree, but we're anticipating more highs there. So this would be, so that's mighty skinny. So here's where some channeling looks like it'll be effective, right? We want that to stay inside. Right, if we're going to hold this impulse all the way up, right, that's something you want to look for when you know. Here's how you know, right? The few times when we know, when you get something that is all self-contained that completes, right? So then we know, okay, I got a completed impulse here, so something finishes here. If you can get them all done in that, that's one of the reasons that channeling is such an integral part of Elliott. Right, I added the median lines because I kept seeing like, oh God, if that's a 2, and that's how it became a methodology. Or part of our methodology. 1, 2, 1, 2. Boy, I like that. So you're looking for a big, that's a big home run ball right there. For this, maybe coming back here for the 4. Questionable is whether this is still going to be in play here. You might be pushing up. So essentially what do you have here? You have traditional channeling. In many respects, you can think of it that way because you're using those 3 pivots. So something down here. Okay, so after all of that, you're looking at that, okay, great, thanks for all the shit that's already happened. Is there a trade here? Well, is there? I think you're a bit late here because what you don't want to do is buy at a pivot. Now, some people say, oh, but what about the breakout? Well, okay, you want to be long with house money going into the pivot. My advice to you is that this is the worst place to enter. Right now, breakout traders say, well, no, you wait till it breaks out. Because if it does that, let's say it does it, well, now we have some context. We'd have 1, 2. We'd have it done here. We'd have a completed 3. What are we anticipating after that completes? 4. Now, that doesn't mean that the market is under some sort of obligation to give me a nice ABC into a 4. It just means that's what it tends to do. That's what's more probable than this. We're just going to keep going. It's more probable. That's all we get. It's probabilities. This completes, right? That would be just perfect. Now we come down here, maybe we hit the median line, right? Maybe this is, we're working in the secondary channel here. So I drew, this is how my eye sees it when we have these runners, right? I've got another channel here. It's running on the other edge of the median lines. All right, so I often would draw them that way. Okay, all right, so here's the initial pivot swing setup. If I come into this 5, I come back down here. Well, hey, I'm right on the edge of that lower channel. You see, well, here, let's change that color. You see how that it kind of frames it for me? Oh, okay, I got it. Now, what would I be looking for in addition to all of that? We're just going to use some traditional Elliott here. Say, well, if this is a 2 and that's my 3, well, where's my high probability zone for my 4 between the 23 and the 38? You see how it maps it out? So you go, okay, now I don't need to do a whole lot here other than come back here and check it periodically. Oh, okay, how are we doing? I set some alerts down here. I'd set some alerts up here. Okay, well, I'll look at this when one of those alerts goes off. Until then, okay, work is done. next chart. Make sense? All right, guys, I'm hungry. We'll get some lunch. Thanks to all, including my team, that posted up here. Some good stuff today. That's a good one to end on. Who was that? Fastlane Hawk gave me a good one here. Inject. I've never even looked at them before. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Half the stuff I look at, I've never looked at before. They all trade the same way, right? Because people just do the same things over and over again. Okay, guys, I'll wrap it there. Thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. I hope you guys get a little something out of these. That's my goal, right? And members, hopefully the feedback is good and helpful to you guys. And for those of you that are not in the Discord, part of the membership, if you're interested, right, you know where to find us, TradeDevil.